Alright guys, it is time for me to do one of my favorite things, leave things in jars for 30 days. The liquid that we'll be leaving things in is a liquid that you guys have requested me to leave things in for probably the better part of 6 months. You guys have been asking for this one because of who I am as a person. I haven't got around to it until now. White vinegar. I don't know why, but for some reason, this is what you got. This is the liquid that you guys chose. This is the one that you want to see me leave things in. So we're going to do it. Now, the first item that we will be leaving inside of the vinegar is also the most requested item that you guys have asked me to leave inside of vinegar. And that is eggs. And I don't remember why. I think you guys were telling me that the vinegar will like eat the shell off of the eggs or dissolve the eggs or something to that effect. All right, here we go. 4 eggs. And then for our second item, I figured since you guys wanted to see me leave regular eggs in vinegar so bad, why not, as much as I don't want to, break out some more of the century eggs. I don't remember what video I left century eggs in. I think it was the Works toilet cleaner. These are preserved duck eggs. Again, because of who I am as a person, I said I was going to look up the process that went into preserving these duck eggs. I haven't done that. All I know is that they're preserved duck eggs. And I know that they really stink. And try not to crack them. Oh. That smells like death. Set this nastiness to the side. And number 3 is one of my most hated items in this entire world. We'll say the raw version of my most hated item. A raw pickle or a cucumber. So after 30 days, I guess we should have pickles. I don't know if it takes 30 days to make pickles or not. Let's cut this thing up with our little knife. Let you guys appreciate my professional culinary skills. I could be a professional chef. Get them all in here. All right, cucumbers. Clean off the nastiness. Our 4th item, and one that I honestly don't even know if anything's gonna happen to this one. To be honest, I just didn't have a 4th item. Paintballs. That'll be good. 4th item, paintballs. And our 5th item, last but not least, meat. Again, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I would assume it's gonna be pickled in some form. We'll go halfway again. Here we have our red meat. All right, so we have all of our items in our jars. Let's start filling them up with vinegar. Well, we got all of our jars filled up, and if you look at both the eggs, it looks like they are already, something usually is already going on. The paintballs actually look like they're starting to dissolve. So I'm gonna get these over to the shelf and get them on the time lapse, and I'll see you in 30 days. All right, you guys know what time it is. It has been 30 days that all of these things have been sitting in vinegar, so it's time to check them out. Let's start off with the cucumbers. Doesn't really look like a whole lot's happened, and I didn't do any research into this, but I was pretty sure that leaving cucumbers and vinegar turned them into pickles, and these don't look like pickles. They look the exact same pretty much as they were whenever I put them in. So maybe you have to leave them in longer to make pickles or something. Let's see how they smell. They just smell like vinegar. I'm gonna try these, or at least I'm gonna take a little bite off of one. As far as I know, it should be safe to try one, but I don't know. Let's see if I can get a hold of one. I'm just curious to see if it tastes as disgusting as a pickle. Yeah, I don't think bacteria can grow in vinegar, so it should be good to eat. No. Oh, I thought pickles by themselves were bad, and I thought vinegar by itself was bad. Both of those together, horrible. Leaving cucumbers and vinegar, it doesn't make pickles apparently. I must have I don't know what I did wrong. I guess there's some other steps you gotta do or something. Leaving them in vinegar, it does nothing but make them more disgusting. Pickles are disgusting by themselves. Cucumbers are disgusting by themselves. Oh, this is bad. The next item is the Paintballs, which pretty much, as you can tell, they've just kind of like turned into what looks like mush, which I didn't really expect. Yeah, look at that. They're just all, it's just all mush. Oh. It's like a, I don't even know how to describe it. They've just like kind of, like all the shells are just kind of dissolved, and they kind of just feel like, I don't know, honestly. I don't know how to describe the way they feel. They're just like, I'm curious why are they all like mushy? Like, you know, they usually have a hard shell, obviously, so that has dissolved, but it didn't dissolve all the way, I guess. And that's how you end up with like this like little like I can't really grab it. This like fleshy looking stuff pretty much just dissolved. That was kind of unexpected. I didn't think they would dissolve. All right, now next up we have the eggs, both the regular eggs and the century eggs. And I'm going to pour these both out together so that we can compare them, because I'm sure you guys would want a side-by-side comparison. So let's get a century egg out of here. That sounded pretty soft. Man, vinegar smells so bad. Let's get a regular egg out of here. All right, so first off, the regular egg has no shell whatsoever. It's all just, yeah, all the shell has been completely dissolved. The century egg still has shell, but it's very thin and very soft. I feel like it probably just didn't, that the vinegar probably just didn't have enough time to eat off the entire shell, because you can see here, whenever I touch it, you can see how thin it is, how it's kind of, you know, dented in. See if I can kind of just, oh, there we go. Ew. Ew. Ew, look at that. Oh, so you can just peel it off inside the century egg. Oh, and this up here is like really firm, and then this down here is really soft. You can see how soft that is. And then you go up here, and it's really firm. So against my better judgment, I'm going to break this open. What? Why is the inside gooey? Like, what is that? Is that supposed to be the yolk? Why does it look like, oh, did you hear that? Why does it look like peanut butter inside the end, or inside the middle? Surprisingly, it doesn't smell. I don't know what to make of that. Oh, you can, I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but you can see right through the white part, like the, I guess, solidified white, egg white. That's just so weird. So let's move on to the regular egg, which I have a feeling, now you can see the yolk rolling around in there. I have a feeling that as soon as I burst this, it's going to be just like the video where I left the eggs in the pineapple juice. There was one that I kind of had the shell eaten off of it, and I burst it, and it just kind of like collapsed, and all the liquid came out. I have a feeling it's probably going to be just like that. I'm going to try not to get egg juice on me. Oh. And at least it wasn't on me, it was on the table. So yeah, that's kind of the exact same thing. And I think that's disgusting. It's like a little sack for the yolk. The yolk is yeah, the yolk is like it was in the pineapple juice. It's like a little just like putty. This yolk is like, you know, turned to like a putty. However long these duck eggs are preserved, I would say that if you preserved this the same amount of time you did this yolk, where it's already turning into like a putty just after 30 days, it'd probably turn into that like nasty peanut butter type texture. Eggs and vinegar, it will eat the shell off and give you this weird putty yolk. Alright, so last but not least, we have our meat. Why this meat is like half red and half brown, as if like this half is raw and then up here is cooked. I'm very curious to why that is, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and I don't fully understand. So let's dump this out and see if there's like a texture difference, or see what's going on here. Alright, come on, get out of there. Alright, at least it doesn't stink, it just smells like vinegar. So, here's a piece of the regular meat. Not regular meat, the meat that's pink. And here's a piece of the meat that's brown. I'm just gonna pretend like I know what I'm feeling for, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I can tell you, whenever I'm feeling them, I can tell you that this one, the one that's brown, is way more like squishy. And this one is more firm. Like this one, for whatever reason, it feels more like, I guess you could say more fresh. Like it feels like I just kind of took it like straight out of the package and then got it wet in vinegar, and then now I'm holding it because it's like more firm. But this just kind of feels like it's like kind of rotten, maybe not rotten, but like kind of like jelly a little bit, or like swelled up or something. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but this one definitely feels fresher. This one feels like really gummy. All the brown meat was at the top of the jar, and all this was at the bottom. So, but not all of this was exposed to air, you know, and the jar was closed. Granted, the jar, you know, the lid was cracked so the pressure didn't build up. But I'm curious as to why all the same meat in the same liquid, why did like half of it stay the same and then half of it like aged or decomposed a little bit or did something? It feels, when you pull it apart, it feels the same. Well, never mind, no it doesn't. Between it being slimy and just being tough, it's hard to rip it apart. I'm done with this meat. I don't know how to explain what happened, and I'm disgusted with it because it now hit me. Alright, so leaving things in vinegar, not a whole lot happens. I'm sure there's going to be hundreds of people in the comments that will tell me everything I did wrong with the cucumbers and why they didn't turn into pickles and all that stuff. Although I really just thought that you just put them in vinegar and that's pretty much it. The eggs, I'm not surprised that the vinegar ate the shell off the egg, because obviously whenever everyone was telling me to leave things in vinegar, that's what everybody was telling me that to put eggs in there because it'll eat the shells off of them. The century egg, I mean, it's disgusting. It's an aged duck egg, so I mean, you can't really expect much. Although what I'm the most curious about is the meat. I'm really curious why. Like I said, half of the meat is raw and half of it was like brown. So if anybody has an explanation to that, please leave that in the comments. I'm really curious to know that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.